What's up, everybody? We're back. We're about to go crazy. First off, before we get started, want to say some really sad news dropped today. We are going to talk about Stan Lee. We're going to remember him a bit, but that's a huge bummer. Thoughts go out to his family and out to Marvel. He is an absolute legend. But in the meantime, my name is Luke, and beside me, some people have called him beautiful. I wouldn't.
It's a lie.
It's a dirty lie.
It's a dirty lie.
It's Mr. Brett.
Hey, what's up, guys?
The Luke and Brett show again.
Indeed.
We miss you, Tyler, and we miss you, Chris. Y'all should come back, because we can't do this without you guys. This thing is about to go off the rails real quick.
That is so true.
But we'll reel it in a little bit, I'm sure.
I'm already failing at getting our we're live tweet out, so when I change things up, it just
Hey, but at least you're trying to switch things up a bit for us, so we don't just stay doing the same exact thing all the time.
Yeah. Maybe next week we'll
Change
have more
is
things
good.
working. Yeah, no,
Maybe we'll have a strobe light next week.
Probably not. I'm going to be gone next weekend. So I'm going to come back and have about 24 hours before we have to film or do the show. So who knows?
So no strobe light.
No strobe light.
I don't like
that just seems dangerous.
Yeah.
There's a number of reasons to not use a strobe light.
But there's many reasons of why you should use a strobe light. Because it's awesome. Sound off in the chat. Yes to strobe light or no to strobe light.
Touché, why not?
Yep. But, what have you been up to, Brett? Tell me what you've been up to.
Oh, I have not been up to a lot this week, sadly. I was going to go see Overlord, and then I didn't.
Me and Tyler were going to try and see that, too.
It's one of those things where it looks super interesting to me, but it's not interesting enough to actually get me to buy a ticket, and maybe that... I don't know.
Should
go see it.
There was only one showtime that I could go to, and it just didn't really work out to go.
Yeah.
So we're just like, well, we'll try another time.
Yeah.
I did other things.
So other than that, I've of course been playing Destiny. That comes up every week. You can make fun of me for it every week, and that's fine.
What up, Patrick?
This week, I finally got around to beating the Shattered Throne dungeon that they have. So part of their new in-game play space is it's on a 3-week cycle where things get progressively harder over the 3 weeks. And on the third week is this dungeon opens up and you can go down into it and get slaughtered or be awesome. And we were pretty awesome. So, but it was a lot of fun. I think that a lot of persistent world games need to do things like that. Destiny has been notoriously bad at not really having a good in-game grind over then here, do the same things over and over again. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a step in the right direction for Destiny. I hope that other companies and games follow suit and do more of that. Things like Division and Anthem, both which have, Division 2 is coming out in March.
Yep, sure.
And Anthem is coming out in May, so yeah.
Yeah. I saw you retweeted something. It's somebody from Bungie was like, "We won't apologize for Forsaken" or something like that. What was that?
So Activision had their quarterly shareholders investor call or whatever. Okay. And basically what was said was that, we're not real happy with where Destiny 2 is at with sales right now. We'll be looking at that. And Bungie basically just threw shade at them we're happy with what Destiny's doing right now. And so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. You don't usually have a developer can't usually get away with being that blunt against a publisher. So there was that leaked contract that came out, 4 years ago. That's definitely all changed since then. But we'll see.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The player base that is playing Destiny is super happy with it right now.
Yeah.
It's just that they didn't get a lot of people who bought it.
It's just that the shareholders
last year
don't care about what the players
Sure,
think.
exactly.
They want their revenue to be high.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and I think what they didn't see is they didn't see a Destiny 2 sold really well, better than Destiny 1 supposedly. But there was a huge drop off in December because of how they had their DLCs planned out, and people were like, "Well, we don't really want to buy this $20 DLC when it's getting crap reviews." So you had a bunch of people. I have the majority of my friends who play Destiny, like my IRL friends.
Your core group.
Well, not my core Destiny group.
Oh,
but my core we played Halo together group. Mm-hmm. Definitely jumped boat then, and still haven't gotten. And Forsaken didn't entice them to get back. So they're trying to figure out. Activision and Bungie are trying to figure out what can we do to get those players to buy the $40 expansion or $30 expansion, or I think is, I don't know,
an amount
and the
of
annual
money.
pass and whatever it is, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. Battle rifle. Brett was just talking about Destiny in the episode.
I'm sorry,
we're talking
all about Destiny. all I ever talk
Destiny
about.
Destiny for life. In the episode, we're talking about remakes and reboots and Stan Lee. I don't know which one of those answers your question. But I have a question for you. Which one of us is Drake and which one of us is Josh? That's my question.
It's a great question.
You said, what's up, Drake and Josh?
Oh, hey. Yeah. I like that. That's
I just don't know which one
Who would be who? Who
would be who?
The best question.
And if there's 3 of us...
I know.
Most weeks.
What happens when the third person comes back?
Is the third person Megan?
Probably.
Who would be Megan?
Well, it's not either one of us. Because it's... Yeah.
Oh, you got a Destiny question.
Yes. Siebel asks if there's any catch-up mechanics for Destiny 2. Yes. So there is you can get one character up to, like, the entry level for Forsaken. Like with the when you buy the expansion, it comes with a little thing that you use on a character to boost their light level up to the proper starting point. Yeah. No, yeah. Battle rifle. It is. I mean, the thing with games this generation is that they are way too. They're way too big, and the hard drives are they. Yeah, the hardware manufacturers have skimped on hard drive size, so. I totally feel you. I have an external, so. Although my 1X does have a terabyte, so.
Oklahoma is Drake. Jurassic Park is Josh.
All right.
My name is Luke.
And I'm Brett.
Love you, homie.
Luke, what have you been up to this week?
Fat Josh or Skinny Josh? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I'll take fat or skinny Josh.
Dude, Drake and Josh was so awesome.
I mean,
I take that back. Drake and Josh is still awesome. That show was hilarious. I loved watching that back in the day.
So surely you did more than I did this week.
I did a couple things. I'm still going into Red Dead. My total completion is 44%. Story-wise, it's 35%. I've been playing it about 3 weeks now, and there's just constantly more and more in that game that I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I find just, like, other side missions that I feel like I would have found in any other game. I've also played Black Ops 4 a little bit more. I just keep grinding in that, I guess.
What are you enjoying most about Black Ops 4 right now?
I mean, mostly I just play normal multiplayer.
Okay. So you haven't, like, gotten bit by that Blackout bug?
No. Well, I really enjoy Blackout, but I usually will only do it if I'm doing duos or quads.
Okay.
Because when I do it by myself, I don't have anybody to talk to, so it's just kind of me standing in a house until the circle closes.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with Fortnite. I just would raid around. But when I play duos or quads, I can just mess around, make jokes, and then I'm usually playing with somebody more experienced, so they're like, we're going over here, and then I can shoot people when I follow them around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I normally just play kill confirmed and
sweet
do completely average.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I also watched Batman Mask of the Phantasm again.
Mm.
One of the best Batman movies ever made, and it's in the universe of Batman the Animated Series. If you haven't seen it, you really need to see it. It's really good. Also, last week I talked about an audiobook that I listened to called We Are Legion, We Are Bob. And this week I finished the second one. They're short books. They're only about 8 hours long, so they're really easy to listen to in a work week. But this book was really good, and I think it was actually better than the first one because I didn't have to go through any of the intro stuff, and it's just more exploring space. And then the last thing I did is I watched the 5th episode of Titans, and it was titled Together, and it's because the Titans are finally assembled. They're all in the same room. They ate pizza together, which was awesome. And some really cool action in it. The villain that they're kind of fighting right now is the Nuclear Family. It's like this brainwashed family that is... They're really strong and they're bulletproof, kind of, and they have no emotion whatsoever. They're a lot of fun. They're really kooky. And they had a really cool fight scene at the hotel, and just to see this Titans finally assembled together is really cool. Had a cool twist at the end because of somebody who showed up. I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it yet, but Batman fans will probably really like it.
Nice. Battle Rifle is asking where can you watch We Are Legion, We Are Bob?
It is a book.
Oh.
So
maybe he was not referencing that then.
But I listened to it on Audible. Titans is on DC Universe.
Gotcha. Yes.
Which is DC's subscription service. I think it's $5.99 or $7.99 a month.
You don't even know. You're just throwing money at the screen.
I paid the yearly thing that gave me 3 free months. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, that's everything I did, I think.
Nice.
I don't know.
So speaking of subscription services, there was a...
We going into the news?
Yeah, let's go on a little news.
Okay.
I don't know. Why not?
I only do that for when I time code
for you
stuff.
time code things?
I can just listen for, okay, should we go to the news?
I need a graphic for when we do it.
It's just a nasty transition for my audio editing.
Nice. Yeah, so Netflix had an analyst come out and do a bunch of stuff, or a firm, and looked at what it would be like to roll out Netflix in some more countries and probably at lower prices. One of the things that's more interesting to us, that'd be great, more people get Netflix, is that in that advisor's note or whatever assessment was that they thought that they could get away with quote unquote continually making price hikes in the US.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be like one of those things where every year it's not going to go up like $1, but maybe it goes up 50 cents. Because they think that they're getting to that point that they have the quality of content that people will be willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I honestly haven't noticed any of the price changes on my Netflix.
Yeah. Well, so
I get it.
They haven't done one in 2 years now, I think.
But like, I don't remember what I was even paying before the last one.
So,
like, honestly.
Yeah.
It just comes out of my PayPal account.
So like right now I pay the $10.99 for 2 HD streaming, and I just think they can get away with that when they're the biggest, and they're not the only one, but they're the biggest right now.
Yeah.
They have the largest foothold.
And I watch so many Netflix original shows.
But DC's not going to take that away, sorry. With Disney Plus coming out in less than a year, I just think that if I'm going to have to pick one or two, like, there's a chance Netflix gets on that chopping block.
No, not for me. Netflix is the one I'll probably always keep. because like even with DC Universe, I'll go over to Tyler's house to watch. If I eventually have to get rid of it, I'd go over to Tyler and watch the original stuff. And most of the other stuff on there, a lot of it I own.
Yeah.
Like, I own Batman the Animated Series on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And now I have it on digital. But you can watch Batman Mask of the Phantasm on DC Universe Battle Rifle. Or Amazon.
Cool.
Or any of those places.
What else we got in news? We got a few things. Do you want to hit
well,
the
speaking of Disney Plus...
Oh, no. Yes, do it.
They confirmed... I'm just going to combine these.
Yep.
They confirmed Loki's happening.
Yes.
Which I say, cool.
Yep.
Probably going to see him die again. But then also, they announced that Rogue One, a prequel, is getting a prequel series. And it's going to star Diego Luna as Cassian Andor.
Come back. But
it's really cool that he can come back and play around the Star Wars universe.
Something people wanted, though?
I haven't seen anybody. I've seen some people excited for it, but nobody's like, this is what I wanted. This, for me, is just like, I feel like I'm getting slapped by Star Wars, because this is the last thing that I want.
So, from a business perspective, I think it makes sense. I'm a little bit more like where you're... Personally, I'm where you're at. But from a business perspective, their shows, Rebels and Clone Wars, are fantastic and are loved by fans. So this is just saying, well, we're going to continue that story. It's going to contain some familiar faces, and we're going to do it live action. There's a logical progression to where that's come from. But I agree that I think I'd rather see something new.
It's just, Rogue One was... interesting to me.
A great movie.
It was fine in the first act. It was not good in the second act. And then the third act is incredible, which saves that movie. Mm-hmm. I was not a huge fan of Cassian Andor. I thought he was boring. I thought he was very one note. I didn't believe his transition at the end of Sacrifice or whatever.
Yeah.
Spoilers, everybody dies. I just when they're on the beach and they die, I was like, okay, are they gonna kiss? Because that'd be weird. And then they didn't, and I was like, okay, good.
Oh
but,
yeah,
like,
thank goodness, right?
I just don't find his backstory interesting, I guess.
Sure.
And it's gonna be hard to make me care about a person that I know their fate, and I didn't really care about them through their original telling.
Right.
But the main reason I hate this so much is I am so sick of seeing stuff in the original trilogy area.
Yeah.
Like, just
leave it alone.
Do something else. Do anything else. Go before the prequels. Because you know what? You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. There's no rules. If you go 500 to 1,000 years back and you go, we're going to go to this planet and things are messed up and we're going to shoot blasters at people and there's bounty hunters and smuggling and all this stuff. Awesome. You can create worlds, you can do all this stuff, but if you go into this like 5-year area, this era that they want to stay in. Yeah. You're going to keep breaking rules. Like, that's what Rebels did when they just... Ooh, I almost spoiled something in Rebels. I don't know if I should do that.
Too soon. Don't do it.
Rebels introduced something that could honestly change Star Wars forever. That's really dumb. But, like...
Okay.
So I just wanted to get creative. This is dumb. I'll watch it, but this is dumb.
Patrick has a great question. Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Luke Skywalker, baby. Original trilogy, Luke Skywalker. That is. And then also, Darth Maul looks cool. But
Darth Maul is awesome.
Barely got anything from him. He's really cool in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. Han Solo is, I think, kind of overrated. Boba Fett sucks. Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. I don't know. Not much more to say than that.
Oh, General Kenobi. I think that was more Akbar.
That yeah.
But yeah, not excited for a Rogue One prequel show.
It's okay. You got Mandalore to look forward to.
I do,
The Mandalorian,
which
so.
I'm way more excited about than
Yeah.
than that. Even though at least it's after the Return of the Jedi.
Yep. Speaking of other movies, we got a Detective Pikachu trailer.
We did.
What did you think of that?
I thought the trailer was. I thought it was a good trailer. But I'm sorry. I might get.
Luke hates
mad.
everything.
I
Fun
get
fact.
mad at this. I'm kind of a hater today so far. Oh my gosh, Pokemon is so dumb. I just cannot wrap my mind around it. I would watch I'd see the cartoon come on when I was a kid.
Right.
I'm like, what the heck is this crap? Then I'd watch it and I'd be like, okay. Never got into the card game. I never got into the Game Boy, Nintendo games. I watched my brother play Pokemon Stadium. It's just not for me. So this trailer, I thought the trailer was fine. I'm not going to see this movie. I don't care about it.
I thought it
Sorry.
looked fine. I'm maybe a little more versed in Pokemon than Luke. Still not like my jam.
Yeah.
I didn't really play the card game or collectibles, or I played a couple games on the game, like my Game Boy Color back in the day.
Dude, I had a Game Boy Pocket.
Had a
Black and white.
Pokemon on it. I think this trailer looked fine. I think Ryan Reynolds sounds like... we all were really curious on how... Was Pikachu just going to say Pika Pika, Pikachu?
I did. I think... I thought that twist
that
would
twist
work.
is nice. Yeah.
I thought some of the Pokemon looked pretty good. Like, I thought Pikachu looked good.
Yep.
But then there's, like, the Bulbasaurs. I know their names.
You do.
We're walking through the forests, and I was like, those look like clay. Like they don't look good. Some of them... The clown one was creepy.
The mime
and
guy.
I didn't like looking at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever his
I don't know.
his face was. I know Pikachu. I know Bulbasaur. I know
Charizard.
and I know Squirtle. You know why? Because they're in Super Smash Bros.
Touché.
And I never used them.
I also did not ever play Yu-Gi-Oh! So that was the even more anime one, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't get into that one.
I never.
So.
I watched some of those. I'd watch some episodes and be like, because people talk about them.
Yeah,
like, what the
for
heck
sure.
Is this? But that's one for me.
So Detective
Okay.
Pikachu looks
Pika.
okay to us.
Yeah.
If you're into Pokemon, I'm sure you'll love it.
I'm sure that movie will be
Or
fun.
it changed enough things that you'll hate it, and that's the internet.
And it took me forever to realize that was the kid from Fallen Kingdom.
Oh yeah,
It's like, who is this kid?
is it
Justice Smith.
Justice Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Judah Smith. That's not right.
Judas. But I'll go to some DC Universe news.
Do it.
They announced who's playing Alec Holland and Swamp Thing for the
Ooh.
DC Universe series.
Yes.
I don't really remember. I looked it up when it first came out. Andy Bean. Crap, what was he in? I don't remember. He's going to be Alec Holland, and Derek Mears is going to be playing Swamp Thing. And I looked at his IMDb, and he's been a lot of monsters. Like he was Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th reboot. He's kind of done things like that. So I'm sure he'll be fine as a moss-covered monster.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Did you just look him up?
Andy Bean.
Oh, he plays Stanley in It Chapter 2. So
Yes.
we'll get to see him in something
Yeah.
before. So.
He was also in Transformers Last Night as Lawyer.
Oh gosh, that movie sucks. We should do a commentary on the Transformers series.
We should. That'd be fun. Okay, so this past weekend, Xbox had a Xbox event in Mexico City. They had some news. I'll just kind of run through all of it.
Sweet.
Fortnite is the first game on Xbox to get keyboard and mouse support. So they announced that keyboard and mouse support was coming, I don't know, a month or two ago.
So just plug a mouse into your Xbox and you can click stuff?
Yeah, but of course, that's developer dependent. They have to have it enabled,
That's
So,
weird.
Fortnite player is going to get a little more professional, a little more accurate. Microsoft acquired 2 new studios. I think that means they're up to 7 first-party game studios. They acquired Obsidian and In Exile Entertainment. Obsidian is the one behind, I want to say Knights of the Old Republic.
The Old Republic?
Yeah.
Was it the MMO one?
It was the RPG. No. It was the RPG, like the
original?
Maybe.
As we Google things. So how's the chat doing, everybody? You know, his duel with Obi-Wan was the best.
It was. Oh, Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Oh, I own that on
the second
Xbox.
One. The second one, and then also Fallout New Vegas are their big ones. They have a bunch of other ones.
Cool.
But yeah, and they're both RPG developers, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of move that is strategically for Microsoft.
Make me something good, Microsoft.
Couple years.
Sony's killing you right now.
Crackdown finally got like a release date. Crackdown 3 coming February 15th.
What are the chances it doesn't hit that release date? 50-50?
No, it's hitting that date, or it's either... If it's not hitting that date, it's not coming out.
If it's not ready, they just need to release it.
There was a fire, and it burned all of the archives with it. The only reason it's not coming out on February 15th. Game Pass is getting 16 more games starting in December and running through next year. Like, they announced 16 more games. There will probably be more that between now and then, but they announced 16. The ones that I got excited for, I don't know why. Like, I already own PUBG, but PUBG is coming to Game Pass. Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori Will of the Wisp when it releases. And then Hellblade, which that developer just recently got bought by Microsoft over the summer. It's been out for a little while, but it's coming to Game Pass as well. So I'm really excited for that. And then they announced their Black Friday deals on Microsoft. You can get Xbox Ones up to $100 off. I think you can get controllers up to $20 off.
Is that the Xbox S?
So Xbox I think the One S is like $50 or $75 off, and the One X is $100 off. So $399 for a One X.
It's not bad because it's pretty new.
Yeah,
still.
and those are
that's a good deal.
Those are bundles too. Like, that's not just the console. Like, you'll get a game with that.
Sweet. So. I'm gonna get one. No, I'm not.
So that's my news.
All right. Well, were you a fan of Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I did hear this. No, I mean, it was fine.
Wow, that makes me happy that you said that. I think that show is really good, but I think it's super overrated.
It is overrated. No, it's good, and what's his name?
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston is like legitimately a great actor. Yeah. I just think the show's overrated.
I do too.
In general.
I kept hearing about the ending, and I thought the ending was... I didn't get any closure whatsoever. But I might now. Because there's going to be like a Breaking Bad Jesse Pinkman movie coming to AMC. So I guess I'll watch it. I liked it enough to watch it. So
yeah.
And Jesse Pinkman was my favorite character. So I guess I'm sort of excited for that. And Breaking Bad is definitely AMC's best show. If Vince Gilligan makes it, then it'll probably be good. What you Googling there?
Don't worry about it. You keep reading your news.
Okay. Altered Carbon and Pacific Rim are coming to Netflix. Altered Carbon already is on Netflix.
Yeah.
But they're going to be anime series.
Yeah.
On Netflix. I think this is really cool.
Those are both really good.
It's perfect Pacific Rim.
For that style.
It's perfect. Altered Carbon will kind of probably be like a Ghost in the Shell kind of thing, which I think would be really good. And Pacific Rim as an anime could just be so dope. So I'm pumped for that. Kingsman 3. Taron Egerton said he's not coming back. For this one. He's not out as Eggsy. He's going to return as Eggsy, but not for the third one, because I heard that the World War I news that I talked about last week is going to be Kingsman 3 instead of like, oh, it's just
this
a
is
spin-off.
essentially before Eggsy's time.
Yeah.
So there's not a chance he can be in it. So yeah, I think this is
Let's
interesting
flashback
though,
to when Eggsy was a zygote.
because it's not completing their trilogy story. I mean, Kingsman could go well beyond a trilogy, but typically you write these things with kind of a trilogy.
It's
in
what
mind.
the what were those werewolf vampire movies with Kate Beckinsale? Underworld. It's what Underworld did.
Yeah, exactly.
I like those movies. Guilty pleasure. Avengers 4 has the potential to be the longest MCU movie yet. It's rumored to be 3 hours long right now.
Woo-hoo.
Is the current cut of the movie. And I say, make it longer.
Yeah, I'm fine with. I mean,
I want an intermission in the middle of this.
hey,
thing.
I was gonna say we went and saw Interstellar, or not Interstellar, 2001: Space Odyssey, and the intermission in there was great. It was like I get a chance to go up, use the bathroom,
Absolutely.
I can chat with everyone.
Just yell, hey, how's everybody liking the movie so far?
It was great.
It's good.
Oh my gosh, loved it.
Yep.
So yeah, no, 3 hours sounds great.
Yeah.
Works for me.
I wonder when that first trailer is going to come out.
I cannot wait for that first trailer.
It's going to be insane. Speaking of insane, Jeremy Irons. I don't know if he's insane. I just needed a segue. Jeremy Irons is playing Ozymandias in the Watchmen HBO series.
I love Jeremy Irons, and I think he's
awesome.
very underappreciated. Maybe not underrated. Like, I think critically he's, like, given the respect he deserves, but I think he's underappreciated on a general audience level. Like, he is a good actor.
Dude has played some of the best villains of all time.
Yeah.
Simon from Die Hard with a Vengeance and Scar from The Lion King. And then now probably Ozymandias. So I'm curious about how much this Watchmen series is going to include from the comic, or if it's like a sequel to the movie. There's a big old squid in the comic that was not in the movie, so we'll see.
I recently went back and watched the movie.
How'd you like it?
Not as bad as I remember.
I like that movie. I don't think it's
great when it came out.
But I
like
hated
it a lot, and now I'm like, okay, like I see where I can see how someone
Jackie Earle Haley
would
awesome.
see this and be like, hey, the guy who made this should be given like a legit, well-known superhero franchise. And then we saw where that ended up.
And he made one really good one.
and then
an okay one.
Yeah.
And then he didn't really make the third one.
And then he only kind of made the third one. So.
But yeah, that's all of my news. Well, almost all my news. I have one more thing.
Do it. Oh.
Yeah, I don't really want.
We got to though.
Yeah, I know.
We can't.
This sucks.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I mentioned it at the beginning, but today, Stan Lee passed away at the age of 95 years old. He was born in 1922. 1922.
That is crazy.
So long ago.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. But dude was just an absolute legend. Like, there's no other way to describe him. He's one of the people that put comic books into existence, pretty much. Like, comics were around, but he's the reason Marvel Comics is where it's at.
Yeah.
He invented like 90% of those characters.
Yeah, there's something to be said about someone who's so integral to not just one company, but a genre of entertainment all unto itself.
Yeah.
Marvel or DC fan, I think you have to respect and appreciate what he's contributed to. Not just, the Marvel slate, but what he's done for superheroes in general.
Yeah. And if you don't know who Stan Lee is, you've either lived under a rock or you're under the age of 5 probably and just don't understand faces yet. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure mostly everybody knows who he is. If you've seen a Marvel movie, you've seen him before.
Yeah.
He's been in the news a little bit lately, mainly because of his health, and was kind
And
of getting
age
interesting.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I got a question for you, Brett.
Yes.
What is your favorite? This is so broad. What is your favorite Stan Lee moment? And that can be, I guess, like a creation, a cameo.
Ooh. That's a good question. Moment.
I'll go as you
Please
think.
share, yeah.
So,
And in the chat, let us know what your favorite Stan Lee
yeah,
moment
send us
was.
all your favorite Stan Lee, I guess, memories. I mean, if you met him, awesome.
Ugh.
Favorite cameos, your favorite creations of his, send it to us. So I used to not really like the Fantastic Four that much. I saw the 2 old movies. I was like, as a like
They're a
middle
thing.
schooler, I kind of liked it, but I
Mhm.
didn't really understand what was going on yet. And then I kind of started to learn about him. I was like, I don't know what I really think about this. Then I saw the newest movie, and I was like, man, these are cool characters, but that movie sucked. And then I started really reading a lot more about the Fantastic Four. So the Fantastic Four has really been growing on me over the past couple years. And then just recently, the Fantastic Four got its new run. And I'm just really happy that that started to come out again
Yeah.
before he died. And that comic has been super bomb so far. Favorite cameo?
He has so
It's got to
many.
be his one in Deadpool, probably. When he saw the strip
Oh.
club. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. No, that is good.
And there's like some that I can't even remember. Like, I don't remember his in the Spider-Man Sam Raimi movies. Or his original X-Men ones. That's a good one.
So this is the one I was trying to figure. Yeah. So the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's a really good
one. He's the librarian, and there's this whole action scene behind him, and he's just like, that was one. I think before then, there was a lot of like, oh, like that's Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a throw. And I mean, I guess you could remove this particular scene from the movie, and it wouldn't matter. But there's something actually going on in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it plays on his age, and I mean he's wearing these big headphones, and just the kind of he's not paying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's listening to some bomb classical music.
Right.
That is a great one.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll see. I know that they said they had pre-recorded a bunch of cameos for future movies, so
Hopefully
we'll
they
see how
got-
long he stays around.
Hopefully they got like 20. Hopefully they scanned his body so they can just put him in there.
You really want to see that?
No.
Okay, good. I was gonna say.
In the Guardians one, that's actually kind of cool. Down there in the corner, it says Excelsior
Oh yeah,
in the language, which was his catchphrase.
his little
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Yes, the strip club
strip
one is
club
just
one
so
is-
funny.
Very funny.
Um,
I liked the Civil War one too. Tony Stank.
Tony Stank.
Mostly because it was this like you came off of this very emotionally heavy moment between Cap and Tony, and Rhodes is like paralyzed, almost paralyzed. He's working on physical therapy, and then there's just this comedic moment that Stan Lee brings, and it's great. His delivery is perfect.
Yes, this is so true. Remember in The Incredible Hulk when he got the gamma poisoning from the soda? He took one sip, said, "Wow." He dropped dead. The second MCU movie, Stan Lee died.
That's right.
What a bummer. But what was his most recent one? Was probably Ant-Man,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
The
what did he-
'60s were crazy.
Yes. Yep.
But yeah. What's your favorite character? I guess
That
Marvel
he's
character.
created.
Yeah.
It's hard to go with anything other than Spider-Man, mostly because that was like so like formative for
Yeah.
me as a movie watching audience. Like And it's just the coincidence of it being a perfect storm of like when those movies came out, which made me interested in the comics, and
yeah,
and
like Spider-Man is not my favorite character, but he's by far the most relatable character in comic books because he's a high school kid, and everybody's been a high school kid. He deals with normal problems, and normal stuff. And it always kind of influences what's going on with his crime fighting. It's really cool. And, just such a bummer. Patrick says, my favorites of his are the Hulk, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. Awesome answers. So I guess there's not really a bad answer, though.
That's true. There really isn't. I mean, I think his earlier ones were kind of... Right? Like...
Yeah.
They were there. They weren't exciting, and they've only gotten better. But even then, like, it's a cameo. It's not like a... Yeah. He doesn't have any bad cameos. So... All right. On to our main topic.
Stan the Man. Yep.
R.I.P. So, thanks for all you gave us.
Yep. Looking forward to what the others can do with the awesome stuff you created.
Yep.
But yeah, our topic this week is remakes and reboots. And how vague can you get? It's pretty much we're talking about movies that have been made in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
But this topic's gonna be pretty loosey-goosey.
I liked it, though. You came up to me yesterday and were like, hey, I've got this, and this is a little behind the curtain of how far in advance we prepare.
Yesterday.
But Luke was like, hey, I've gotten this idea. What if we talk about these things? And I was like, all right, I like it. Mostly because we do see a lot of reboots, and I think that we think that reboots are only like a new problem.
Yeah. They've been happening a long time.
Reboots have been happening for forever, so don't think that,
I just want to let you know
your favorite movies from the past are originals.
I agree with people that are like, we need people to make new stuff. We do. But I'm also not against a remake because there's some really crappy stuff that can be made well, and there's some good stuff that can be told differently. For instance, A Star Is Born. Yeah. The movie is 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's probably going to be nominated for something.
It will, absolutely.
That is the fourth time that movie has been made. So if you saw that movie, loved it, and you complain about remakes...
Well, so here's the other thing, is that remakes provide an opportunity for a new audience to hear a story.
Exactly.
There are people who have not seen the original Total Recall, or I'll use Total Recall because it's one we talked about before the show. Like, I hadn't seen that movie until I had heard there was the new one coming out.
Same.
So I went back and I watched that one to get kind of... And, like, they're the same concept. They're still very different tellings.
Very different.
They're very different tellings of kind of the same story. So even though that movie's only, 30 years old?
Yeah.
There's definitely room for creators to tell a story in a new way.
Yeah.
Then there's other ones like Disney, which sometimes are just like...
They're remaking all their
Here
old
is the exact
stuff.
same story in just a different packet. Like, it's live action instead of animated. Woo.
And I'm pumped for those.
I actually have been too. I mean, we can talk about that when we get to individual movies in our lists, but...
And, I don't know. I kind of lost track of what I was going to say.
That's okay.
But I get really excited when I hear something that I didn't like is getting another chance.
Sure.
For instance, the Fantastic Four. It's been done twice now. And actually, it's been done 3 times. There's a way older one. It might have been a TV movie. But none of them are good. And the MCU has been killing it. So when they announce this dude's going to direct a Fantastic Four movie starring these people, hands down, I'm going to be yelling in excitement because I cannot wait for that to happen. And then, there is the times where you're like, they're doing that again.
Yeah.
Um,
Should we go through some of our favorites?
yeah,
So should we just start off with remakes?
sure. Even though it's kind of gray, because a reboot is kind of a remake.
So the things that differentiate them. What are the things that differentiate them?
I guess for a reboot, for me, it seems like we're trying to build a franchise out of this, not just like for instance, I'll give an example of 2 movies that I have.
Yep.
And a remake that I really like is Peter Jackson's King Kong movie.
Yes. Okay.
I really enjoy that movie. I know some people kind of give it some crap. I have a great time with that movie. I love the stuff on the island. It's exciting. I thought the movie was kind of scary. I was like 12 when it came out, though. So. And King Kong looked dope in that movie.
Yeah.
And it was Andy Serkis being a gorilla, and I didn't know that. And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the other side of that is Godzilla and Kong Skull Island. They're building a shared universe out of these characters, and it's not connected to anything before. So, like, and they're not telling the same story, I guess, as, like, the 1930s King Kong or Peter Jackson's. They don't even go to New York and climb the Empire State Building.
Right.
At least not yet, but that'll probably be in, like, the Godzilla Kong movie.
Yeah, so a remake is way more of, like, here's the same storyline. We're going to change some details, but the storyline is essentially the same. And a reboot is maybe here's the same characters in the same universe, but not universes in like the exact same universe, but you know.
Yeah.
But we're going to tell a completely new story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's good ground rules.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, so I just did something. So I guess you do one.
My remakes that I think my top 3. I don't know. I don't have 3 for each
my
section.
number 1 remake of all time.
310 to Yuma.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
I just watched this movie.
Oh, really? It's been a while. I need to rewatch it. It's been a little while for me.
I think it was on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And it popped up, and I was like, man, I've wanted to see that. So I put it in my list, and then one, like, Sunday afternoon, I was like, I'm bored. I didn't feel like playing any video games. None of the TV shows I was watching, I was really feeling it. And I saw that in my list, and I was like, oh, it's about to go down. That movie
when did that come out? That was like 2007? Yeah, I was going to say, right near the end of my, when I was finishing high school, I think. So.
Like, maybe my favorite Western. Like
it's up there for me.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really intense. The characters are really captivating, and Russell Crowe at the end of the movie just, like, sells it to you. Like, I was like, dang, man. That's tough.
Yep.
And Christian Bale. He's both.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I haven't seen that one.
That is such a funny movie.
Is it on anything? Do you know?
I actually don't know if it's on anything. Again, that was one that I haven't seen in a while.
I'll have to look it up and see if I can find it anywhere.
And then Westworld, which...
Oh, yes. Yep.
Like...
They took
I guess I consider that a remake. I don't...
Yeah.
I would...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took the... Michael Crichton? That was who it was, I think.
Yes.
His original idea, and they said, we can do this. And they put it into a TV show, and they expanded it a lot. I need to watch that second season.
Yeah. And then an honorable mention would be True Grit.
Yes.
I think that was one where I went back and I watched the original after I watched the new one, the 2010 one.
I did the same thing.
And I was like, yeah, I would have never wanted to watch this old one.
I didn't finish the original. I was bored.
It's a great example. It's a product of its time. And it doesn't modern audiences don't enjoy it. Now, my grandfather loves the original. He loves all those old westerns.
My cousin-in-law,
he's got a whole stack of VHSs of them.
I brought up that the True Grit was the Jeff Bridges, Haley Steinfeld one was more well liked than the original, and I almost got skewered at Christmas. But
so yeah, there's a couple of mine.
Awesome. So. One that I actually didn't know was a reboot was The Departed. A remake.
Remake. Departed's so good.
That movie is amazing. I really am sad that I knew how that movie ended before I saw it. I saw a clip on YouTube way back when. I was like,
those darn YouTubers.
oh, this movie looks crazy. And then I learned it was from The Departed. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this movie looks good. I should watch it sometime. Still an awesome movie. But it's based off the movie Internal Affairs. Which I think is from the 50s or 60s. I'm not sure.
That sounds right.
And then the twists in that movie are insane. The acting is insane. A lot of language in it. But it is... Oh, what's his name? Shoot. Scorsese.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Which kind of comes with it.
I didn't know which name you were.
Yeah, sorry.
Thinking of.
I was going pretty vague there.
Yeah.
Another one of mine, Ocean's 11. I have not seen the original, nor will I ever watch it because I've heard it's absolutely garbage. I think I enjoy Ocean's 11 more than I'm supposed to.
No, it's good. It's one of those that I think is probably tainted by the fact that it has too many sequels that aren't as good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think back and you're like, there's too many Oceans movies.
Yeah. No,
but when it was just the one, it was great.
Yeah, the second one sucks so bad. I like Ocean's 13 just enough to like it. I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the girl one. Ooh, is that sexist? I'm sorry.
Ocean's 8?
Yeah, I called it the girl one though. I haven't seen the girl one.
It's a little bit. I won't hate you for it.
And then some. I have 3 to 10 to you on my list too, but I won't talk about it. Some honorable mentions for me before I get to my last one, I guess, is I really did enjoy the Total Recall remake.
It's not a bad movie.
I just think it's a lot of fun. And then also, along the exact same lines, the RoboCop remake. There's a lot of really cool ideas in that movie, and the action's pretty cool. It's fine to below that. It won't call it. I won't call that movie above fine, but I have fun watching it.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
But my last one is It.
Yeah. Oh. How did I not have that on my list?
I added it 30 minutes before I came over to your house. I was like,
I should have sniped that from your screen and stolen it.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite movies of last year.
It's great.
It's so much fun. I thought it was scary. It's so funny. Awesome characters. It is the clown, I guess. Pennywise is his name.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm all over the place. He's great. He looks awesome. I cannot wait for chapter 2. But yeah, it.
A couple of movies from the chat, which I completely agree with.
Yes.
Scarface. Yep.
And it's going to be remade again, actually.
Yeah. The Fly, also fantastic. Jeff Goldblum.
I haven't seen it. Sorry. I know.
I saw it when I was probably too young. It creeped me out a little bit, but it's a good movie. The remake of The Time Machine. I have not actually seen the remake of The Time Machine.
News we never talked about. What's his name? Andy Muschietti, who directed it, is going to direct a remake of The Time Machine.
Oh, what's young is new?
So cool.
The Thing by John Carpenter.
I've never seen The Thing either.
That's a great... Oh, really?
There's a lot of movies I haven't seen.
You should go see that one. Yeah, that's a great one. Dawn of the Dead, another fantastic
Is that the Zack
remake.
Snyder one? The one that just recently came out.
No.
I know he directed an Of the Dead movie.
Maybe?
But I'm not sure.
I didn't think it was Snyder. No, this is a 78. Or are you talking the 2004 one?
2004.
Maybe this...
Ooh, The Blob? I haven't even heard of that.
Maybe the 78 is the original. You're right, yeah. So Dawn of the Dead 2004 is this. Yes.
That's considered his best movie. Let Me In with Chloe Grace Moretz. I don't know that one. Look that one up. I'll do it.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good movie. It's a scary one.
Oh, all these are like scary movies that I haven't seen. The Hills Have Eyes. Tyler was talking about how he liked those movies.
Yep.
All
right, I'll go through some of my reboots next.
All right, do it, baby.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, baby.
So good. Godzilla.
Yeah, baby.
The new one, not the 2005
Not the one
or whatever.
That one is
The
bad.
Matthew Broderick one? No, thank you. Man of Steel?
Yeah,
and
baby.
Batman Begins.
Yeah, baby.
Those are the ones I've got listed.
That's a bong list, son. Or dad. You're dad.
I am a dad, so.
Some I would add to it. Or I guess one. My list is exactly the same, except for one. I have Dread on my list.
Yeah, Dread's great.
I love Dread so much. I want that gun. Can shoot anything.
JT on Twitter mentioned Dread.
Yeah, I was so happy when he mentioned that.
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again. I bought it to watch it, and then I never did.
Blake on Twitter mentioned Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Speaking of Disney remakes.
And The Jungle Book, I'd say.
Honestly, Jungle Book, the remake of the Jungle Book. Is it a remake or a reboot? It's a remake. The remake of the Jungle Book is better than the original.
I agree with that. I'm not a huge fan of the original Jungle Book.
So
I didn't like it very much.
It's probably fine for its time. It lacks a proper third act.
Or my general interest during the whole movie.
Yeah. So.
Plus the remake, the effects of those animals are so good.
It makes me very excited for Lion King.
Oh my gosh, there was a Mowgli trailer that just came out that we never talked about.
Oh yeah, and did we talk about the actual release? Yeah, we talked
and how
about
it's coming to Netflix. Yeah.
Well, it's actually coming to some theaters.
Oh really?
First. Yeah, I think it's one of those rules that for
they're going for effects.
For award seasons, you have to release in theaters, and so it's coming out in New York and Houston and LA.
And listen, honestly, not everybody has Netflix. It can't hurt to release it for 1 week. Somebody might take their kids out to see it. I don't know. Maybe the movie's too dark.
Just depends on how they market it from now on.
What did you think of that? Did you watch that trailer?
I haven't seen the new one, no.
Oh, it looks interesting.
Yeah?
It looks pretty dark. It actually looks a lot different than the Disney one.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Yeah,
it's following the book, not the Disney show.
Ooh. Battle Rifle. That, when we're talking about our worsts...
I like that movie, Battle Rifle. I liked it.
We'll get to our words here in a second.
Let's see if we can find any more movie reboots.
Any
superhero movie.
So we mentioned this in our tweet.
Do I need to explain it?
It's not listed in our title graphics or anything. But what is a reboot sequel, Luke?
So a reboot sequel would be a sequel to an older movie, I guess not necessarily older, a past movie that is used to reboot the franchise. And to explain it more, I'll give the best example, which is Creed. Creed...
The second best example, sir.
Creed is the best example to explain.
Go on.
It's not my favorite reboot sequel, but Creed is still... in the world of all 6 Rocky movies. It follows that timeline, but it doesn't follow Stallone anymore. It's following Apollo Creed's son, Michael B. Jordan. And so you don't need to see any of the Rocky movies to see Creed or Creed 2 now. It adds to it, so it's a sequel, but it's its own thing.
So the best example of this is actually Star Trek. Because...
I think Creed's a better example.
Because it does it literally... It's a literal reboot in the...
It's a reboot in the movie.
In the movie.
Another great example. X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah? Yeah? Oh, that was... Yeah, it's one of the good new ones.
Yeah, that's my second favorite X-Men movie. But yeah, Star Trek is a really good example because they literally used old Star Trek in that movie to reboot their new franchise.
Yeah,
and they did good too.
They did. Awesome. They did great. You listed one that I wasn't aware of that I think is fantastic. The one we haven't talked about.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought maybe you were talking about a different one.
Give you a chance.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Keep stealing your things, so.
Oh, it's okay. I don't mind.
Oh, good.
Mad Max Fury Road. One of my favorite movies ever.
It's great. It's so good.
I think it's one of the best maybe my favorite action movie. Yeah. Because Braveheart isn't an action movie. That's a drama, period.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But this movie blows me away. It came 20 years later after Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome or something like that.
Yep.
And you don't need to see any of the old ones. They explain the origin in it. I'm hoping it leads into more. I don't know if it made enough money, though, is the thing.
I think it will. I think it will. It's one of those that it's picked up more steam even since it came out.
Yeah.
Like,
and because it won 6 Oscars.
If you're gonna remake something like Dune, you know, you can get away with remaking, or you can do a proper sequel to Mad Max.
Yeah. But yeah, Mad Max Fury Road is, I think,
dope.
If you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, treat yourself. Then go back and watch Mad Max 1 and 2. And if you're up for it, 3. 3 isn't really that good. Yeah. Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, is almost exactly like Fury Road. It's just older, but it's a giant car chase. It's awesome. Ooh, Brett's Googling again, everybody. Worst movie reboots.
I'm curious.
You know
what
what's
the
been
internet has to say.
You know what's been being rebooted a lot?
What?
Old 80s action movies into TV shows.
Yeah. Well, the TV style is definitely a like a popular method for not spending. You can get away with spending more. I don't want to say that. It's like a medium-sized budget with lots of storytelling that lets you really flesh out characters in a way that you can't in a single movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. But yeah, you're right. It does.
Like Magnum P.I. is out now. There's Lethal Weapon. There's a Rush Hour. There's probably something else. There's Hawaii Five-0. I think that was a TV show though. But
yeah,
I didn't watch any of them. What'd you find over there on the Google? What's the internet say?
I'm mostly agreeing with what we have.
Yeah.
There's some in here that yeah, that was bad. Anyways, so we got worsts. And this is kind of, I don't have mine separated out into categories.
No, this is just the worst of any of them.
The worst reboots, remakes, or reboot sequels.
Mm-hmm. So mine is from last year. This is just absolutely my number one. The Mummy. Tom Cruise's The Mummy. What an absolute dumpster fire. So bad. Freaking stupid.
You've got
waste
great
of time.
potential there.
They wasted everything they had.
Yeah.
You have one of the greatest action stars maybe ever, and you have a mummy. And they didn't really use any potential that just that has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could think of 1,000 things to do, and they did the 1,001st one, which was just stupid. Superman Returns is a reboot sequel. He's right.
Ooh.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It was continuing the Donner stuff, and they were trying to keep it going with that.
Yeah.
Good call. Who said that? Battle Rifle. My man.
That's great.
The Crazies was a remake. I watched that on TV.
So 2 that we've mentioned already that I'll just bring up again, the early 2000s Godzilla.
Yeah.
And the Planet of the Apes Wahlberg one are both history has shown that they could have been done better.
They're at the bottom of the barrel waiting to be dumped with gasoline so we can just ignite the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they were thinking with both of those. Especially the Godzilla one with Matthew Broderick and the worms, and Godzilla was like a lizard. But that show spun off a cartoon.
It did.
That cartoon was actually, I like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Mainly because Godzilla actually fought monsters, which is what I want to see. Thank you, Godzilla reboot.
Here's an interesting one. The Pink Panther.
Okay, those might be a guilty pleasure for me.
So,
I like to buy a hamburger.
I love Steve Martin, hence the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels one earlier. like, yeah. I don't know. This just never caught my attention. They came out with a sequel, that like a actual Pink Panther 2, I think.
That was back when like kids movies could just get sequels.
That's true. And it was definitely... Well, that's the thing, though. Why was it marketed to kids? It wasn't... I mean, it was marketed to kids because of the cartoon, but it's not like a kid's movie. I don't know.
I just remember Jason Statham is the coach who dies at the beginning of that movie. And I was like... I found that out and I was like, what? That's crazy. Anyway, 2 more of mine.
Yes, do it.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Ugh, yeah.
With Johnny Depp is just abysmal. And also The Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson is just really racist. And not good. And there's a movie with lots of potential.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
The original anime Ghost in the Shell is awesome. So good. I did not think I was really going to like it. I watched it randomly one night.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. So good. And then they announced that they were doing a live action. I was like, awesome. Then they announced Scarlett Johansson, an actress I cannot stand. I was like, well, darn it. And then I went and saw it in IMAX anyway, and I regretted every second of it. But yeah, those are at least my 4 that I thought of real quick.
Yeah, no, I agree with all those. I don't know. There's a lot of bad movies out there, and
there's more bad movies than good movies.
that's true. It's easy to it would be easy to go on like an hour-long rant of this, but I think we should move on. What are we
looking forward to?
Yeah, what are ones we're either looking forward to or we want to see that they're not necessarily confirmed in development?
All right, I'll just go through the ones I'm looking forward to real quick. Green Lantern, Fantastic Four. They both deserve great movies. Lots of potential there. Neither one has really had a very good outing.
Yeah.
Dune.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen the original, but Denis Villeneuve is directing the Dune remake. So, bring it on. Blade Runner 2049 is one of my favorite sci-fi movies. Arrival is one of my favorite sci-fi movies. I love Denis Villeneuve. He's awesome. Tim Miller is doing a Terminator reboot sequel. It takes place after Terminator 2. Sarah Connor's coming back.
Ooh.
So I'm really excited for that. Get rid of 3, 4, and 5. But maybe keep the Sarah Chronicles. That was a good TV show. I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah, no, it was.
The last one for me is all of those Disney live-action movies. I just can't help it. I like Disney movies. Specifically, The Lion King.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm looking forward to.
Those are good.
And I'm going to look at yours and try
No, I only have one written down. I didn't write... I was doing technical stuff before the show, so I didn't get to write all of my stuff down.
He was. I can confirm. He was using lots of words that I didn't understand. Like optic cable fibrosis.
You butchered that, but good try.
I tried.
You did. The one I have written down, and I'll go on a little thread with this, is E.T. I think a lot of Spielberg's films are getting to that point where younger audiences haven't seen them.
That's right.
And
I barely remember that movie.
They can be told in a new way with familiar actors that can reach a new generation.
Would you have it be a remake or E.T. comes home or comes back?
No, reboot.
Remake?
I would say reboot. Well, that's the thing. Like, the story of that is...
A kid goes to E.T.'s home world.
Futurama already did that.
Oh, darn.
It's a 20-minute episode.
Yeah.
Stretch it into a 2-hour movie. It's fine.
Who would you have make that? Would you have Spielberg do it again?
I don't think so.
Maybe an up-and-coming?
I think it's important for remakes. Although you get someone like George Miller to do Mad Max, and it's wonderful.
Mad Max is his baby.
You have to strike there's like a middle ground between like, I want this to be indicative of, or I want this to be exactly like the original, and I want it to be completely different but have lots of callbacks. Like, I think it still needs to be different. It needs to be the same in spirit but not content. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't stand how many Easter eggs or self-referential things that Jurassic Worlds have in them. Like, the first one, it kind of made sense, Jurassic World 1, like, because it's on the island with the park.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the Fallen Kingdom has way too many... Hey. Look, we're in the Jurassic World universe.
Member berries?
Remember these things. Yeah, member berries, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also think, one we didn't really mention earlier, it's on my worst list, would be Power Rangers.
Oh, that new one?
The new one.
I did not like
and, like,
that.
so I think you could, like, again, like, there's potential there. Surely someone could make that work.
Yeah. And I'd rather have Voltron. Voltron's cool. Power Rangers is lame. Team Voltron.
Here's one that we get a remake of every, I don't know, 10 years or so, and I don't think we've had a good one since, not the original, but like a proper Sword in the Stone remake.
Like King Arthur or Sword in the Stone?
Like a Sword in the Stone. Like, we get lots of King Arthurs.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, that's what
that new one was.
There's a lot of, like, wiggle room. Do you tell that, like, when he's young, or do you tell it when he's
older,
like King Arthur?
Yeah.
I want to say Disney's got that lined up for live action.
They've gotta.
But I don't know if it's been confirmed.
I'm pretty sure they're doing all
I feel like I've heard that, so...
Another one that I feel like gets made all the time is Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, yeah.
And there's a new one about to come out. And there's one that's supposed to be like Robin Hood in the future.
We can stop making Robin Hood movies.
Just for a while. Like, let's wait 10 years, and let's bring it back. And bring in Carrie Elways and Mel Brooks. The best Robin Hood movie is Men in Tights.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Quit burning our villages! I love that movie so much. Mel Brooks is amazing.
Are there any others that you guys in the chat would like to see remade?
As we give them chances to type in, and then we'll read them all off that you guys have said. You guys have been saying a lot here. One, I'd like a reboot of The Matrix.
Yeah.
That franchise literally calls for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could literally call the movie The Matrix Rebooted.
No.
Yes.
I'm in except for the name.
It would be awesome. Rebooted. And you wouldn't have to bring back Keanu Reeves. You know, I'd be cool with that. But bring back a new character who thinks he's the one. Old Zion is dead. We're moving on to the new one. Machines are back. Baby.
They're back, baby.
And then another one that I would have put in my looking forward to list, but then they're like, nope, we're not doing it, was Alien 3. Neil Blomkamp, director of District 9, amazing movie, was going to bring back the girl who played Newt and Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, for Alien 3, and just get rid of Alien 3 and 4. And I was really looking forward to that. And then Ridley Scott said no.
That's
one I want.
That is a series that I think could use just a complete reboot. Now, not a remake, just a reboot. The whole where they're going with Prometheus and whatever the heck the new one is, I can't even remember it.
Covenant,
Alien Covenant. Like, doesn't make sense. People don't like them. You know, we didn't like 4, you know, or what was it, Resurrection?
I don't know if I've seen it.
It's bad. It's bad.
I just remember I watched part of the David Fincher one on TV and I quit because I couldn't stand
And 3 is pretty disliked. So you got like the first 2 that are good, and then you've gotten Prometheus was separate enough for me to actually really like it. It's totally like can be in the same universe in its own story, and then they did the whole Alien Covenant's got to wrap it all back together, but not needed. Not needed.
Definitely.
But yeah, so
should we go through all these that they've been saying? The Parent Trap. I didn't know that was a reboot either until I googled it.
It's a remake. Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, speaking of crazy, The Crazies. I watched that on TV too. You know, I realized I'd seen a lot more scary movies than I realized.
Yeah.
Because why I watched a lot of them on TV when I probably shouldn't have been. Never mind.
Terminator Genesis was
I didn't see it.
not great.
I decided to spare myself.
Good call. Naked Gun. I actually am not
I've never seen those.
sure. Okay, those are fantastic movies. I did not know that they were remakes or reboots, but they are great. You definitely should watch them. That's like 80s comedy at its best. And probably worst. I mean, realistically.
It's in the vein of like Airplane, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. I need to check it out.
Yeah, exact same.
I need it on a streaming service to watch it.
Touche.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Sorry, I haven't seen that. But
The Rob Zombie Halloween.
I watched part of that on TV and I quit watching because it was making me so mad because it was terrible.
Yeah.
You also have the So Bad, So Good movies. Like Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Have you seen Doom?
I have not.
It's not great.
I've not seen it.
But it also wasn't like I don't think it was that was based off of the game, but it hadn't had a proper movie before then.
The Italian Job. I love The Italian Job.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
I liked it. Yeah.
And Charlize Theron. I really enjoy that movie. I'll watch that movie when it's on Netflix every once in a while. Like, it'll pop up and I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch that again.
Yeah. Yeah, Walking Tall is absolutely a remake. And is really good. I think it's really good.
The Wicker Man. I've not seen it, but I've seen many a clip of Nick Cage.
The Day the Earth Stood Still. That's it. No, it's a fine guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as some people make it out to be.
I don't think it's great, but I didn't think it was horrible.
Sure.
It's fine.
Yeah. Flash Gordon reboot. It could be interesting.
Oh, I think they just announced something about Flash Gordon, too.
Oh, really?
I think so. I can't remember exactly, but... Oh, the guy who directed Overlord is going to make it.
Oh, sweet.
The Nazi zombie movie.
We'll need to go see it so we can actually get a decent...
I can figure out if he's a good director.
Yeah.
Is there any others in here that we missed? This person says...
I think we can probably move on to socials.
Okay, sweet. Let me bring up my handy-dandy sound effect on the YouTubes.
Oh, I'm going to do mine now. Boom. You know what time it is when you hear that sound?
Yo, boy!
And for our
poor iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play listeners, they have to wait for me to bring it up on YouTube.
There's gotta be a better way to do this.
There's lots of better ways to do it, but it's not as fun.
It's not as fun.
And I just forget, so it's fine.
So we didn't really have much socials this week. Yeah. I thought you had. Did you have something listed on your sheet? I guess I could check Instagram again.
Yeah, go check Instagram again. Josh Taylor, JChisel12, tweeted at me after our Red Dead review. He said, "Hey, the boy Wanda, I heard what you said about pointing a gun at people when you're trying to talk to NPCs in Red Dead Redemption 2. My buddy said he doesn't have any problems as long as his gun is holstered. I don't know if you keep it out when you're walking around towns, but that's what he said." And he's right. If your gun is holstered, you don't have that problem.
Luke,
However,
whipping it out.
Don't stop. I'll whip it out when I want. The problem is you go in and you get your gun worked on and you hold it after. And then I would try and talk to him again and instead it points the gun. I just figured the gun should be automatically holstered. And then also, I'm on my horse a lot of times. I'm trying to talk to people. My gun is just out. I forget. But yes, you're right. You're right. That's just usually my bad on that. Was there anything on the Instagram that popped up?
Nope, there wasn't. But I do remember, and actually this kind of goes with, so Patrick in our YouTube chat had a great couple of questions that are a little bit related. One was, would you be interested in a Catwoman reboot? Or remake?
I'll take a Catwoman inside of Matt Reeves' Batman universe. I don't want a Catwoman movie.
Okay.
I'm
probably there with you.
I heard that movie was bad, so I watched it. The Halle Berry one.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the worst movies I've seen in my life.
I think if you... I mean, the problem with that... If you don't over-sexualize it, I think you could make it interesting. But it is kind of a weird... It's kind of a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the other question from Patrick. Thanks for shooting us questions, Patrick. Appreciate it. If you pick a DC supervillain to have his or her own standalone movie, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. I was looking at all the villains earlier so I could figure this. I think the only one I think it could really work with is Deathstroke, because he can also be a good character. He is a villain, but he's also a mercenary, so he can just get hired to do something, and it can be in the vein of that. And he can be doing something bad, but he's still a protagonist in the film.
Right.
So I'm gonna say Deathstroke.
I'm gonna go with Ra's al Ghul. I think we got a very interesting look at him in Nolan's Batman universe, specifically the first one, Begins. But the whole League of Assassins and kind of like, you could come up with a cool plot line where how he becomes leader of the League of Assassins.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So I could see that.
And because of like his immortality, you could honestly put it anywhere in time. You could make it a period piece. You could put it in current day. I don't think I'd recommend doing it in the future. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Also, I appreciate Siebel really wants a ScarJo woman. He demands it.
No, absolutely not. Never,
that would
ever,
be
ever.
that
No,
would
no,
just
never.
make my day.
I would lose it. I cannot stand Scarlett Johansson. What are you willing to do? See a Kill the Bridge movie? Vernita Green's daughter comes for revenge on Beatrice Kiddo. Oh, is that a sequel to Kill Bill? Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know. Battle Rifle, you have to be a little more specific.
Are you talking about a Kill Bill sequel? Battle Rifle? I think that's what you're getting at. I'd take a Kill Bill Volume 3, if that's what you're asking. We did get some tweets from Chris Brashears at Crispy.
Oh.
He gave us a little Red Dead review, so I'm going to read that real quick.
Do it.
Said, Red Dead is a good game and handles the most tedious task better than other games. It turns them into a short minigame than just a cutscene. It's fantastic. The hand-to-hand combat in Red Dead is not good. The game that does it the best by far is Sleeping Dogs. And I think he was talking to Tyler, and Tyler's like, yo, I love that game.
Yeah.
He said, this is about Sleeping Dogs. It's truly an under-the-radar game. I thought the ending was going to be similar to the movie New World, but I was so wrong. What? I haven't played that game.
Yeah, Sleeping Dogs.
I got it for free, though.
I think I've played, I don't know, probably 5 to 10 hours of that game. I enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
I wasn't super into the atmosphere of it, but yeah. Yes. So yes, Battle Rifle. I think we're both in for a Kill Beatrice movie.
Yeah, I'd watch it. I love Kill Bill.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. I think it's better than Pulp Fiction. I think Pulp Fiction's overrated.
Ooh, disagree.
I think Pulp Fiction is a great movie. I think it's also overrated.
We should have a Quentin Tarantino episode.
That would be fun.
It would be. Well,
I would need to see all of them first, though. I have not seen.
There's only 7.
The one that was
8,
that was actually 2 movies. Roundhouse or Bricktown or something. I don't know.
Oh.
And then I haven't seen The Hateful Eight yet.
No, I would be interested to see what you thought of The Hateful Eight.
It's so long. I've had it on my list forever on Netflix, and I'm always like, should I watch that? And I look on the right corner and it says 2 minutes and 48 minutes, or 2 hours and 48 minutes, and I'm like, no, I gotta go to bed in like an hour and a half. I'm not watching this. So
Anyways, future episode.
Future
ideas.
episode idea. Quentin
Thank
Tarantino Love Fest.
you, everyone, for tuning in this week. However, you're ingesting the show, whether that's here live or on a podcast service.
Yeah,
or just on YouTube after.
We heart you guys.
We do heart you guys.
There's nothing in here.
There was something in mine. I drank it all. You should make sure you're following us on social media. If that's where you are, we will try and be there too. Twitter, Instagram.
We try and interact with you guys as much as possible, but a lot of times I'm at work, so I forget to respond to stuff.
What's work?
I'm a revenue specialist. Holla.
Cool.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
I like getting paid, and I really like my boss. It's not exciting.
You went into way more detail than I was expecting.
Well, let me tell you what I do all day. So I show up to work and I punch in.
So follow us personally up here. These two. Tyler is not here today.
Yeah, it's okay.
We miss him.
Tyler _19 _Davis. Follow me at boywanda. THE_BOI_WNDA.
Follow me at Brightson BREITZEN.
Instagram and Facebook.
Facebook.
Instagram
Who uses Facebook anymore? Instagram and Twitter.
At the fanboy. That was way too hard for me to say. How embarrassing it is.
We'll see you next week with a review, hopefully. Pending. I know we are both very busy over the weekend, so hopefully we get to a Thursday night showing of Fantastic Beasts. We'll give you a review.
Of Grindelwald.
Thanks,
Looking forward
everyone.
To it. See you guys.
Bye.
Stone Cold says.